Chris, look, the Republican National Convention starts next Monday, just days away, which means, sorry, microphone, that we're going to get a Donald Trump vice presidential pick at some point between probably now and Monday. I guess maybe we could get it during the convention, but I would think maybe over the weekend or early next week. So who's it going to be? Great question. That's why I'm here. So let me say first, Donald Trump is a deeply unpredictable person, right? He loves being unpredictable. He loves shaking up the squares. He loves doing things that no one thinks he's going to do. So I'm always hesitant when people say, like, he's definitely going to pick one of these three people because, he's Trump. He changes his mind. He does strange stuff. He zigs when everyone else zags. So take what comes next with a grain of salt. It is, I think, likely Donald Trump will pick one of these three next people I'm going to mention, but it is not a sure thing. Okay, now, who then makes the final list? Who is in the final three? Who gets the rose, if you will? So I think conventional wisdom, at least, has narrowed it to these three people. Ohio Senator, thank you, Thumb. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Florida Senator Marco Rubio, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Now, let's talk quickly about sort of what that says. Those are three white guys, okay? There are no women. There are no people of color. I personally think that's a missed opportunity for Trump. I have said repeatedly, and will say again, I think the best VP pick for him is Nikki Haley, Indian American woman. I think she can mitigate some of the fears that suburban women have about voting for Trump. I think it would look big of him to put a former rival into that spot. He's not going to do it. Okay. The second best pick for Donald Trump would be, I think, Tim Scott, the senator from South Carolina, African-American senator, first African-American senator elected in the South since Reconstruction. Charismatic, good speaker. I think it would be a good surrogate for Trump around the country, help with black voters in theory. Again, he's not going to help Donald Trump win a majority of black voters, but maybe help Donald Trump get to 18, 19% with black voters. That would be a huge win. It appears as though he's not going to pick Scott either, although I would say Scott much more likely to wind up as a nominee than Nikki Haley. Okay, so let's talk about who he might pick or who we think he might pick. So let's start with Burgum. Okay, Doug Burgum, you probably don't remember, ran for president in 2024. He's the governor of North Dakota. He's a very wealthy guy. He founded a software company that he sold. Why is he appealing to Trump? Well, number one, Trump likes rich guys. He thinks that people who have succeeded in business are like him, are winners, are people who sort of are winners in life. So he likes that. He likes, I think, that Burgum is safe, right? So picking Burgum isn't going to, it's a governing pick, right? It's like this guy has been an executive. He's been the head of a company. He's been the head of a state. Burgum isn't going to win Donald Trump a lot of votes that probably wouldn't be for him anyway, but he probably would help him govern to the extent Donald Trump listened to him. I think if Trump picks Burgum, the message he is sending is, I think I'm going to win this race unless I screw something big up. And I'm not going to take the risk of screwing something big up as it relates to the VP pick. So I'm going with a safe pick. Now, remember, we have some evidence of how Trump thinks about these things. He, in 2016, had to pick a vice presidential candidate, and he picked a vanilla safe choice, Mike Pence. Now, didn't work out all that well for Pence because, Trump threw him under the bus on January 6th, but that's at least the kind of person Trump picked last time, so maybe that's indicative of who he picks this time. All right, so that's Burgum. Vance, young senator from not a swing state, but the Rust Belt, Ohio, the Midwest, which is obviously absolutely critical in this election. If Trump wins, I think any one of the three of Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin, he probably wins the White House. And Vance, in theory, helps a little bit there. I think Vance is being pushed very hard by Donald Trump Jr., who he and Vance are very good friends. I think Don Jr. and maybe Don Sr., but definitely John Jr. sees Vance as kind of the next generation of Trumpism, sort of Trump 2.0, who can take the message and bring it forward to a younger generation of voters. So, that, and also I think, Vance has a little bit of a celebrity factor. He wrote Hillbilly Elegy, obviously a huge best-selling memoir about his life growing up in Ohio. So Trump likes that too. Trump likes some celebrity. I think you always have to be careful because he doesn't want to be outshined, right, by anyone. So he likes some celebrity, but not too much celebrity. And I think Vance might check that box. Okay, last one, Marco Rubio. So I still am skeptical that Rubio makes the cut, mostly because he would have to move out of Florida in order to be the pick, because you can't have two people on the national ticket from the same state, or you forfeit that state's electoral votes, and Donald Trump is not going to forfeit the electoral votes from Florida. But let's just go down the Rubio, why Rubio? He's Cuban American. Trump wants to make inroads, thinks he can make inroads. Republicans have made some inroads in 2022 with Hispanic voters. So again, putting Rubio on the ticket does not mean that Donald Trump is going to win a majority of the Hispanic vote. But what if he got 23, 24, 25%, maybe 30%? Huge deal, and would make it hard for the Democratic nominee to win. So there's that. I also think Rubio is younger, right? He's around Vance's age, so it's another generational pick. If the fundamental issue of the campaign is Joe Biden is too old and Donald Trump's pretty old, you put someone on the ticket who's in their 40s or early 50s, maybe that makes a difference. I also think Rubio, particularly in a state like Arizona and Nevada that has a large Hispanic population, swing states in theory, I think that he helps there as well. So those are the three main ones and the arguments for them. If I had to guess, I think I'd go with Burgum marginally over. Burgum and Vance are really close to me. I could buy an argument for either of them. I still don't think it's Rubio, but what do I know? Donald Trump does things all the time that I think he's not going to do. So I think I would go 1A Burgum, 1B Vance, 3 Rubio, and then 4 wild card, which, Tim Scott, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Elise Stefanik, someone like that, who I don't think he's going to pick, but again, Trump is unpredictable. That's what he does. All right, that's all I got for today. Obviously, in the next 4 or 5 days, we're going to find out an answer to this question, so it's going to be intriguing. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't. We are very near 30,000 subscribers, which is amazing and makes me so happy. Like this video. Comment on this video for the algorithm and to build community, and tell 5 friends about this channel and why you think it's important that they subscribe. All right, everyone take care. See you tomorrow.